Hey everyone, welcome back to Ormsby Farm. My name is Casey. So I'm out here in the sun. Ooh, and it's bright today. It's beautiful, but it is bright. And I wanted to sit down to kind of go over our plans for the garden. Because it is about that time. I think we have maybe 2 more weeks before we're gonna start tilling it up. And I've changed the dimensions like 4 billion times. So I'm going to sit down. We're going to talk about what plants are going where, how many rows, and all things my main garden. So if that's something that interests you, stick around.
I'm coming home.
Alrighty, so I am planting the garden today. Mom's off camera on the side. We're kind of sitting down while the grass is kind of drying a little bit from overnight so we can mow some more. And we're going over the main garden areas and all of our flower seeds. First of all, I just want to say we have been so blessed and honored to have been sent so many fabulous gifts from friends and subscribers that we are humbled by every single one of y'all and are extremely grateful. I will be doing a mail call for all of the stuff that we have received. I wanted to say first a huge thank you, since we're talking about seeds, a huge thank you to Glinda over at Grace and Fire, because look at all that right now. Look at all that. Can you believe it, Mom?
I know, it's wonderful.
Thank you so much. She sent us the sweetest letter as well. It was her random act of kindness for her birthday week, and we just feel so blessed that she sent it to us for our homestead for the garden. And I am paying it forward, and I'm going to be doing a seed giveaway on my live Tuesday. By the time you see this, it probably would have already aired. No, I may post this video Monday, so scratch that. When we were planning for the beginning of the year, I bought a lot of seeds, and there are some of them that we are just not going to use, and I was like, I need to give them out to friends as giveaways. So that's what we'll be doing Tuesday with Sherry and Bobby from Black's Tropical Homestead. So before we really sit down and plan out, me and Mom are going to walk you over to the garden, and I think we'll even pass by the baby seedlings, because y'all have been asking about those from when they got waterlogged with the rain. So let's go ahead and we'll walk over to the garden, because I need to measure out again what my garden is since I've changed it multiple times. And then we'll come sit back down and we'll go ahead and start prepping. Alrighty, y'all, so we're walking over to the garden now. We're gonna walk by the plants, because like I told you, I'm gonna show you how the plants look. There's Mom. I know some of y'all have mentioned in comments about Tara and Chris. They will be here Mother's Day weekend. So they've been busy with their schedules, so they haven't been here. But we're stopping by where I have the plants, just out getting some sun. If you watch my video about the rain, all of them have bounced back. And actually, some of them have gotten really big, like the tomato ones. This is, what is that? Oh, that's a red cherry. Look at that sucker. What do you think, Mom?
I think they look great. What's this right here?
Those are cantaloupe.
Oh, cantaloupe are looking good.
They're probably ready to go into the ground. So does Mom's cabbage is looking good too.
Tall one. What's that?
Romas.
Yeah.
But now back over to the garden, because we're gonna measure it before we sit down to go over what we're gonna need to plant. Because I ended up planting excess at the beginning of starting from seed, because I knew that some wouldn't make it. So I want to know exactly how much we're going to be putting in. We're going to go over spacing for tomato plants and pepper plants, and spacing in between the rows. And so yeah, so let's go over and we're going to walk and see what size the garden is, because I've changed it like 4 billion times.
Yeah. Or take the mower and just run it down the side.
I got to move those bricks and
Yeah.
wood and everything.
Yeah. She's got bricks everywhere.
And don't y'all laugh at me in the comments. We doing it old school. I forgot. Now I gotta start over.
And also, we've misplaced our measuring tape and our wheel, so we've got to find those. Okay.
You
want to lift it up and see how it's doing underneath?
You can see through the clear
Oh, yeah.
because they got the staples in, and
Oh, yeah.
the staples, y'all, I will leave the link again. They are great thing to have on the homestead. I used them in the video, but it's keeping this tarp down, so it's good. So it's dying, so probably me and Mom were talking about it. I think we're gonna go ahead and get the tiller first weekend in May, possibly second weekend. The garden's going in late this year. It's just life happened, so yeah. Let's go back over to the table.
It says the Augusta.
All right, we're back. So now what I'm gonna do with knowing now, we're gonna keep this size garden. I'm not gonna change it, I promise. Have a little bit of Diet Coke. Is I'm going to draw it out. We're gonna measure it out because, you know, some plants need to be spaced a little bit farther, some a little bit closer. Figure out what we're putting in because I still have a lot of plants besides the one that you saw that are direct sow. And yes, so I'm gonna kind of tilt you down now. We're gonna draw it out. We're gonna talk about the plants that we have and kind of go from there on measurement. Now, the universal spacing is 18 inches for most plants. If you give them 18 inches, they're usually pretty happy. That does not mean you have to do it. You can be a rebel gardener and put them closer. They may just grow up instead of out. I am a weirdo. I like trellising all of my plants instead of tomato cages. I'm not a fan of tomato cages at all, even though I am going to try them this year. Myself, my podcast buddies, girlfriends, friends, Alicia, Monica, and Lisa, we're joining in with Sandy from Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming to Arizona, and we're doing kind of like a messy garden collab this year. We had Sandy on our podcast, which by the time you see this will not have come out yet. And it was so interesting to hear her talk about how some gardeners don't weed, some gardeners don't trellis the tomatoes, and they still get a giant yield of crops. So we're going to test it out. We're going to do one of each plants. I don't know what those plants are yet, but be sure to look out for those videos from all of our channels. And so I'll be able to do non-weeded, maybe closer in that area. But in the main garden that I'm spending a lot of time in solarizing and preparing, we're going to do it so it's like Pinterest pretty. Okay, so tilt down. I'm kind of like guesstimating.
If you have a ruler, then you could do like...
I know, we don't have a ruler neither. Y'all, it's that struggle bus. So one thing that I know, especially since I want to be able to have a pathway through each of the gardens, is probably between the rows, I'm going to do 2 to 3 feet, probably closer to 3 feet. And that will make it easy because the woven ground cover that I'm ordering is either 4 feet wide or 3 feet wide. So I will probably go with the 3 feet wide. Don't you think that's probably a good
distance.
Space in between them?
Yeah, to walk and everything.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some quick math here on the screen. I'm gonna fast forward it, and we're gonna figure out of the 45 deep, how many rows that would be. Well, y'all, that was easy for the retired teacher. 15 rows. 1, 2, 13. Alrighty. So going through the seeds, we're going to be going through the seeds here on camera with you. One, I'm super blessed with all these seeds that Glenda sent over. I'm going to kind of go through them. I know that I'm going to do 2 rounds of watermelons this year, and she sent me some really cool, I don't even know if it will show it up on camera. Yep. One is a Charleston gray watermelon. It's an heirloom. And the other one is Orangelo, maybe? Orangelo.
Looks like orange. Oh, or Orangeo? I don't know.
Orangelo?
Orange glow?
Both of these are watermelon. So those will go in our second round of the watermelon cantaloupe orchard area. We got some great noodle beans I'm really excited about. We got flowers, putting that to the side because we're deciding that today. We got sweet chocolate bell peppers. I am going to try and start that today from seed. There'll be a little bit behind, but it'll be fine. Flowers, more fabulous flowers. We got sweet peppers. This is a winter squash, so that will go in my winter pile. Acorn squash, this will go in our direct sow. Kohlrabi, I don't think either one of us have ever had kohlrabi before, so that's exciting to get to try that. And this is actually from Galinda's garden. It's sunflowers, more sunflowers, so excited. We got collards, which would be winter. Tiger melon, we're gonna do that in the second round, and more of the tomatoes. So excited. So I'm gonna put this all aside. I'm gonna clean up my little area here, and we're gonna go ahead and get out what we're gonna be planting. Alrighty, y'all, so we're back after the struggle bus math, and I put up the umbrella because I was baking like a loaf of bread in the sun. So we figured out that from the plants that I have started, 2 rows of them will be slicer tomatoes. So I'm writing down here, slicer tomatoes. Now each row, I can put the most 17 plants. I'm going to be a little bit of a rebel this year and do them every 12 to 13 inches for tomatoes. And just see how it does. Hey, it's a learning year. And then my Romas are the same. So I have 4 rows of tomatoes. I have 1 row of bell peppers, and it's a mixture of all different ones. So I'm gonna put a row of the bell peppers. And then I have a row of different spicy peppers. It's kind of a mixture of everything. And there may be some empty spots because I really only have like 8 bell pepper plants, but I am gonna be starting some of the chocolate peppers that Glenda sent over. So I'm gonna call that row the miscellaneous peppers. At the very front of my garden, I have cabbage to put in. So cabbage and celery is going there. And the rest of my little seedlings are my asparagus seedlings, which go in a different location. The watermelon and cantaloupe, that's going in the orchard. So yeah, that's it for that. So now we can start talking about green beans and peas and summer squashes and cucumbers. Now I did say this year I'm going to be cray-cray with my cucumbers. I have 4 different varieties from Burpee. And it says to sow every 6 inches for cucumbers. I'm gonna do about 8. Just to give them enough room to spread. So I'm doing 1 whole row of pickle bush cucumbers. And then I'll do half a row of the champions and half a row of the burpless beauties. So we'll do champions, and then we'll do the beauties. Now these 2 are more of like the longer cucumbers. Of course you still can pickle them, but the pickle bush are the smaller, fatter ones. So that's why I'm doing all these different varieties of the cucumbers. And you know, we love us some cucumbers. After that, I'm going to go do the green beans. I have multiple different green beans and snap peas that are going up. So I'm doing a row of the snap. I'm going to do probably we'll do the Kitchen King a row, and then we'll do the Contender and the Kentucky Wonder. Again, we love green beans, plus all the dogs like green beans, so we'll need a lot of those. And then I have my squashes. So, I know we were graciously gifted from 5 Dog Farms, my girl Nikki, some candy roasted squash and Crespo squash. This was from the seed swap. So I'm very excited to try these. Both of these I'm going to put in a row. So I'm going to do the candy roasters. And I'm going to do the Crespo. And then I'm going to do half a row of the yellow squash and half a row of the zucchini. And then I'm going to do these noodle, they look amazing, these noodle beans that Glenda sent us. So those will be a row. And that pretty much sums up how I'm going to do the garden. Again, all of these ones that I planned today are direct sow. So they will go straight in the garden once it's tilled. And we have the ground cover. So I'm so excited. I'm excited, y'all, for garden season. Let me just tilt up and actually talk to y'all instead of y'all talking to my chest. Hello. So yeah, we're so excited about this first garden season and to see how the garden does. If you watch my videos, you know that we got our soil tested. We've amended the soil. I'm solarizing the area now. And then we will till and put down woven ground cover. And I am going to plant with rabbit manure this year and see how well that does, because I won't start getting livestock animals until probably fall early of next year. So I'm going to have to do the purchase thing this year. Another thing for that garden, once our fall garden is done, what I'm going to do is pull up all of the plants and I'm going to solarize that whole entire area, which I think is 50 by 60 foot area, just so I can start widening the garden each year. So I'll go ahead and solarize it, which will kill off the grass, and we can do it over the winter months. And we're doing the same thing with a lot of these raised beds, because it's going to be a lot of work to get those beds back to working order. We are going to plant some of the amazing flowers that we received in the seed swap. I have them somewhat organized. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a video on it, but I'm going to be planting the milkweed because I joined in on Janie and Rich's collaboration on the milkweed for the monarchs. And I actually had Jenny on the podcast, and she was saying that it won't come back until next year. So I'm going to go ahead and plant them this year, and then we'll see for next year. So y'all, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to press that thumbs up and go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. And you can click that bell icon so you know that anytime if new content drops to our channel. Follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Ormsby Farms. And until next video, thanks for stopping by the homestead. Be blessed.
I'm coming home.